Welcome to Secret TV.
Number 8. Grave robbing for morons. Before YouTube, in the early 90s, certain fringe VHS tapes would be traded from person to person, often depicting strange, even illegal activities. One such tape, entitled Grave Robbing for Morons, was uploaded to YouTube in 2014, and has since grown in mystery and infamy. The video shows two men explaining in gruesome detail how to rob a grave, as one holds what appears to be a real human skull. He instructs the viewer on how to remove skin and bones. It could be entirely hypothetical, if not for the flecks of blood on his face, and certain mannerisms that suggest he isn't entirely stable. Some have dismissed the video as fake, but its VHS quality suggests it originates long before these kind of hoaxes were widely popular, and its 26-minute runtime isn't typical of viral content. A website was established to identify the men in the video, but there are still no significant leads to date. Number 7. Ricky Rodriguez. Ricky Rodriguez was the son of Karen Zerby, the leader of the Family International cult, formerly known as the Children of God. Rodriguez left the cult in 2001. Alleging that he had been enduring years of abuse at the hands of the group's members. Because of this, his mother's location was kept a secret to him. But in 2005, Rodriguez recorded a video detailing the cult's ongoing abuse of children and his plans of revenge on his former nanny, Angela Smith. Showcasing a range of weapons, Rodriguez describes himself as a vigilante, as he plots to kill Smith, then himself. After mailing the tape to a friend, Rodriguez invited Smith to dinner, before killing her in his apartment and subsequently shooting himself. The cult has since changed its name several times and tried to leave its dark legacy behind. But Zerby, who Rodriguez alleges was complicit in his abuse, remains the group's leader to this day. Number 6. James Caddell. In 1984, pilot James Caddell and Ronald Willman were returning from Colorado to Denver after their first assignment in a new business venture. Caddell and Willman received contracts to inspect oil companies' pipes from the air, but the two would never complete their second assignment. The plane went missing, and because Caddell had never flown through mountain regions before, police suspected the worst. But the plane wouldn't be found until 3 years later, when a 14-year-old hiker stumbled across the wreckage. Also strewn around the site were the remains of a VHS from a camcorder Caddell had mounted to the plane. When the footage was restored, it showed Caddell and Willman's final moments, including Caddell's final words, "Hang on, Ronnie," as he realized they're going down. Analysis showed that the plane had failed to adjust to the rising terrain, and the tragic footage has since been used as a teaching aid for training pilots. Number 5. Elliott Rodgers. For anyone looking, evidence of Elliott Rodgers' descent into violent misogyny was easy to find. The 22-year-old's YouTube channel was home to a series of videos with titles like Lonely Vlog, Life is So Unfair. In the video, he talks angrily about women who wouldn't sleep with him, and the inferior men they chose instead. These videos culminate on May 23, 2014, with Elliott Rodgers' retribution. In his final video, Roger laid out plans to wage a war on women by driving to a nearby sorority and shooting the co-eds inside. He also emailed a 100,000-word manifesto to friends and family members. Then, after killing his 3 male roommates, he uploaded the video to YouTube and drove around Isla Vista, killing 3 more people and injuring 14, before taking his own life. Rodgers' videos have since been removed from YouTube, but are widely available through re-uploads, eerily cataloguing Rodgers' deteriorating mental health preceding the attacks. Number 4. Byron Smith. After serving in the Vietnam War, veteran Byron Smith returned to his hometown of Little Falls and became a renowned recluse. Supposedly, Byron was in dismay at the state of Little Falls, owing to drug-related crimes and numerous burglaries, including Byron's own home. The last of these burglaries was Thanksgiving 2012, because Smith called the police to his home the next day to report the death of 2 intruders. Police suspected self-defense, until CCTV arose of Smith hiding his truck on Thanksgiving morning, seemingly baiting burglars into believing he wasn't home. This was confirmed when police found an audio recording Smith had made of the incident. In the tape, he waits in the basement, watching the burglars on his CCTV. As they come down the stairs, he shoots them repeatedly, even stopping to say, "You're dead," before the killing blow. This clearly refuted the self-defense argument, and jurors later listed this disturbing tape as the biggest influence in Smith's life sentence for first-degree murder. Number 3. Stephen McDaniel. After their graduation in 2011, Stephen McDaniel was distraught at the idea that he would no longer see his classmate and focus of his obsessions, Lauren Giddings. So, on June 26th, he broke into her apartment opposite his, killed her, and hid the body in the building's car park to stop her leaving for good. Despite police finding physical evidence in his room and blog posts where he talked at length about violence to women, McDoniel didn't confess for over 10 months. But when he did, he revealed the most disturbing aspect of the crime. Having stolen a copy of the building's master key, McDoniel needed to ascertain that Giddings was alone. For this, he duct taped a camera to a 6-foot pole and used the device to film Giddings through the window in her flat. Police eventually released the eerie footage, which is more than can be said for McDoniel, now serving a life sentence. Number 2. Cassie Jo Stoddart. Brian Lee Draper and Tori Michael Adamczyk were two 16-year-olds obsessed with the depraved. They idolized the Columbine shooters and decided to carry out their very own killing. They filmed themselves as they selected their victim, their classmate and friend, Cassie Jo Stoddart. On camera, the two discussed why Cassie was such a suitable candidate for their plans and filmed their interactions with her in school. That night, Cassie was house-sitting for her aunt and uncle with her boyfriend when Draper and Adamczyk turned up before leaving to watch a film at the cinema. But instead, the two stayed and waited for Cassie's boyfriend to leave, then entered the house and killed Cassie. More footage shows the two as they drive away from the house, talking excitedly about what they've just done, and how they'd watched Cassie just disappear. When police investigated the two, these tapes were discovered and provided key evidence that ultimately put the two in prison for life. Number 1. Ricardo Lopez. In 1993, 18-year-old artist Ricardo Lopez saw a video of the Icelandic musician Björk. What followed was 22 hours of self-taped VHS footage and an 803-page handwritten diary, cataloging Lopez's descent into obsession and insanity over the next 3 years. In 1996, when Björk began dating musician Goldie, his stalkerish obsession turned bitter. On camera, Lopez hatched a plan to kill Björk for breaking his heart by sending her an acid bomb in the post. He did so by purchasing her home address from an online company and forging a letter from her record label. Then, on a cassette tape labeled Last Day, Björk plays in the background as Lopez shaves his head, paints his face red, and shoots himself to be reunited with her in heaven. Although Lopez lost his life, police found him in time to watch the tapes and luckily intercepted the bomb before it could harm Björk. That was the 10 creepiest pieces of real found footage. Which one scared you the most? Let us know in the comments down below. And while you're there, don't forget to like and subscribe. While you're at it, check out this great all-time 10s video playing on screen now.